that place where you just landed your first job or your recent college grad and you're like, you know what? I'm not feeling really great in what I'm wearing. I'm feeling like maybe I'm not being taken seriously. I'm not showing up the way I want to as a professional. This is such a pivotal moment in a young adult's life. And we work with clients through this because it is a lot of questioning. It is a lot of discovery time of like, who am I right now? And how does that look? Because sometimes you don't know. You might have an idea, but you don't quite know how to get there. So when we work with clients, it is really just asking the questions like, okay, how are you showing up now? Identifying that first because you need to see where you're at. And then asking yourself, okay, with the career path I am taking or where I am working right now, how do I want to dress up there? How do I want to show up? Who do I want to be in the space? And this always gets a little confusing, I think, for young adults because they know they're ready to step up their game, but they don't quite know the right styles or colors or brands to look for. And so sometimes the image I think that they get is like what their mom or dad looks like. And they're like, I definitely don't want to be there. I need to like tone it down so I still feel like a young adult and still feel like myself. And so we help you find that in between, which is it's such a fun time. There are a lot of great brands out there for young adults now, and you can mix and match different things as well. It makes sense to go to different stores and brands and not rely on just one place for all your clothing. So that is such an important part of this. Today, I get to have a conversation with Chloette. She's going to be on the podcast. Chloette is my lead stylist at The Closet Edit, and she works a lot with our young professionals. She's very well versed in the brands and what's going on in that space and how to help you feel comfortable and guide you through what it is you need to build your wardrobe. In this episode, we talk about some key pieces that you could look for and what are like the must-haves to create this wardrobe. We talk both about men and women just because we work with a mix of clients, and in general, they are quite similar because the pain points and the things that young adults struggle with when they are trying to achieve their new style is very similar. And right now in this time in fashion, it's such an interesting place because for the most part, not every industry, but a lot of industries are very casual. So not just when we're shopping with clients, it's not just about thinking this is workwear. Some of it is like, okay, this is my workwear attire, but how can I dress it up if I wanted to go out for happy hour after? Or how can I dress it down if I don't want to feel as dressed up on a certain day? And just having pieces that really mix and match well, that are very versatile, are so important for young adults right now because you don't want just professional attire unless you're a lawyer, unless you're like an executive at a big corporation, unless you are working and mingling with people that are a lot older than you that you need to have like more of that respect for. Those are certain times in your styling where you do need to dress up more. Another one that comes to mind is women, when they look younger, they want to look more mature so that they are taken seriously, or women that work primarily with older men. I also hear and work with that they need to dress up more conservatively so that they can be at the table with those men and share their opinion and give their ideas. I think that style really does make a difference in the confidence that you have when you're showing up at work and how you feel when you're sharing things that are really important to you. When you feel just aligned with what you're wearing, it's easier for you to open up and share what you need to share or get out of your own head and just be yourself. So today we're going to talk about those things. I highly encourage you, if you want to look at some of Chloette's finds that she suggests that we're talking through in this podcast episode, you can go to myclosetedit.com, check out the blog. There you will find the pieces that you can click on. It will take you directly there to the purchase, and you can just use it in general as inspiration. So go to myclosetedit.com. You can go to the blog. You can also go to the show notes below, and there's going to be a direct link that you can click on. The hot topic of June. Everybody's talking about graduating, what they're going to do after college, and some are already in that space where they landed the job and they're trying to figure out, okay, now I'm here. I feel like a professional, but I'm not showing up as one because I'm wearing shorts and t-shirts every day. Let's talk about what to wear. Chloette has put together a list, and we're both going to give our feedback on different ideas on what you can look for as you're building this new wardrobe for yourself. So let's just get started with number one. What is the number one tip?
Number one, finding a good pair of nice casual sneakers. So getting out of those Vans and those Nikes and finding a put together pair of sneakers. That'll really elevate your look, make you look more put together, and overall more professional.
I have some clients that are like in their mid 30s and have a collection of Vans or like their sneakers that they used to enjoy from like back in the day. And I'm like, it's great that you like sneakers, but let's find one that looks more put together. And even if you're not necessarily like a young professional, like right out of college or just starting your career, I think even in the range of like mid 30s, people end up trying to find their style at that point too, because they've been stuck for so many years in their college and high school years. So casual shoes is really a wonderful option. And if you aren't like really casual in that sense where you want a sneaker, you can do a loafer. Talk about loafers because you know more about them than I do. I've been struggling for myself on trying to find a good loafer.
Yeah, loafers are super popular right now. I have a pair myself. You have a pair. Mm-hmm. They can really be dressed up. Even now, you can dress them down with denim. I've seen a lot, even with shorts. So yeah, that's a great staple piece to have for sure.
What I do like also about a polished sneaker is it really looks good with trouser pants.
Yes.
I have loved it. I personally I do like to dress up a bit more, so I'm usually in heels, but I found a pair of sneakers and I love them with my trouser pants. And I even put it on my Instagram stories. I put a photo. I'm like, should I be wearing this to work just in case? Because I have a lot of clients, that dress up as well.
Yes.
And so a lot of them were like, yeah, rock those sneakers. I'm like, okay, I will.
Yeah. It's fun for sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about number two.
Number two is layering your outfits with a button up, with a blazer, a cardigan. That really elevates your look. It gives you some more layers to your outfits, makes it look like you tried, put in some more effort. So that's a great way.
I feel like layering also adds this like depth to an outfit. Like a t-shirt that looks so boring on its own, you add a blazer and it's like, oh, you look like you tried when you
so
just
together.
Yeah, you put one thing over.
Uh-huh.
I think what people tend to struggle with when it comes to cardigans is cardigans for all ages sometimes end up looking sloppy. So what are some good cardigan options that you think are great that still look professional?
I think having more fitted cardigan for sure. You don't want it to be large and sloppy on you. So having a fitted cardigan, one that's more cropped as well, like fits you right on your waist, makes you look a lot better as well. It's not like long and drowning you. So yeah.
I did, and this is not necessarily for young professional, but I'm still gonna put it out there. The other day I was shopping with a client and she personally doesn't do cardigans. Sometimes people are either, and you might find this too, sometimes you're a jacket or a cardigan person, or sometimes you're an in-between. Like I'm a jacket person and my client the other day is a jacket person too. But we found this, I'm gonna call it a cardigan jacket, and it wasn't like a blazer, it was actually like a short knit jacket type of cardigan. I know it sounds so weird. It was almost, I guess the closest thing I could relate it to is like a tweed coat, but it wasn't tweed, it wasn't a jacket, it was a thicker knit. Such a cool, beautiful piece. I think it's by Rag & Bone. But anyways, if you are in that in between, there are like soft knit blazers. There are like this beautiful piece I found from All Saints that's like a jacket cardigan that's short. So there are different options that you can try. If you have been stuck in one kind of cardigan style from your past life and you want to step it up, try different cuts, different colors, different brands, because there are options out there. And then for layering with blazers, are there any blazers that you really like at the moment?
I would say linen blazers. I really like linen blazers for the spring, summertime.
Yes.
They are a little bit more casual, but you can dress them up with jewelry, with a trouser pant as well. So I think linen, that also adds like some more texture to your outfit. So I think having a linen blazer is really fun.
And linen blazers look really good with light colored jeans right now too. Like you could even do a navy blazer, like a linen blazer, and it still looks good with a light colored jean and some black heels or something, or black sandals if you're doing like a casual look. But yeah, I love a good linen blazer. And something to keep in mind too is that when you're doing the blazer look, you don't want it to be like, I know there's like an over exaggeration on the oversized, but you don't want it tight, but you don't want it so big and overflowing. You want like a good in between. Like you can feel comfortable moving in it. It's not like super tight on you. It just kind of like skims your body. Yeah. I think that's really important. And it has to fit right on the shoulders. Yes. Not like out here and not like in here, but like right at your shoulder. We did a video.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay, let's talk about number 3.
Number 3, finding, like we were saying, good fitting clothing. So making sure it's tailored if it's needed. A lot of our clients struggle with it fitting on the shoulders or the length of their pants. Or a lot of men, they need to get dress shirts tailored in the back. So making sure that your clothing is fitting you well, you're not drowning in it, it'll really make you look more put together.
And if you missed the last podcast episode, it is all about alterations and the most popular alterations that my female clients are doing. I didn't concentrate too much on men in that podcast episode, but yes, like Colette said, for men, really bringing in the shirt. I think both men and women, for whatever reason, think that everything is supposed to fit them off the rack. Do you know how many body types and different like ways our body is structured are? Like, It's just not possible. So make sure that when you're trying clothing on, if you like a piece and maybe it's too long in the length, it's too long in the hem, it's too long on the sleeve, buy it, take it to your alterations person or find an alterations person and ask them if they could make it fit your body. It is worth doing. I promise it's going to make you wear it more and you're going to feel so confident in it because you're like, oh, it was made for me. So definitely do that. And then with tailoring as well, I think that finding a good tailor, just to let you know, I didn't talk about this, I don't think, in my podcast episode, so I do want to share it here since we're talking about tailoring. When you are doing minor alterations like the hem of your pants or the hem of a jacket or a dress, those are called minor alterations, and those are easy to do even at a local dry cleaners. If you search Yelp or something and they have good reviews, you can do it there. But for more intense alterations, like having a jacket brought in, a shirt brought in is also a minor alteration, but bringing in a jacket with lining or bringing in a dress or switching up how it fits on your boobs, things like that, that one you do want to find like a really good tailor. Don't take it to a dry cleaner. Take it to someone who knows the construction of clothing and can do that for you. So just a tip on that. Okay, let's get into number 4.
Number 4, invest in good quality pieces. It'll be worth it in the long run. You will feel it in the material, in the fit, so it's really just worth that extra cost.
And when you are a young professional, I know that it's hard to kind of distinguish what should I buy and spend more money on and what should I not spend as much on. Are there certain pieces that you suggest for clients that it is worth investing in?
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth in jackets or coats, and pants as well. You really want a pant that'll last you a long time. Jackets, you'll feel it in the way that they fit, or a suit as well. You'll really feel it in the material. So those are some good pieces to invest in.
And if you struggle, let's say you're a woman and you struggle finding the right pants, or you're a woman who has really broad shoulders and you have trouble finding a good jacket, if you find that piece that fits and you've been struggling, please invest. Buy it. Buy 2 pairs, whatever you need, because if that's something you struggle with, then yes, spend $200, $250 on one piece. It is definitely worth it because it's going to save you time. the headache. You're going to feel good in that piece. So invest in pieces too that fit well and that you've struggled with in the past. So that's a big one. I personally, I like a good handbag because it's just one thing that you wear every day. A handbag you can wear for years.
You'll get the most use out of it for sure. Yeah.
And don't do like a trending handbag when you're doing the investment.
Yes.
Do something that is a more classic piece. But when you go to work, people are gonna see your bag. You're gonna look more professional with a nice bag. So definitely invest in a good handbag if you care about that. Okay, number 5.
Number 5, trying new colors. So a lot of our young professional, especially men clients, I'd say, they really stick to the dark, neutral colors like grays and blacks, dark blue. So I think really kind of expanding into the world of color will be a good thing to add into your wardrobe. So trying muted colors, even if you're a little scared to go into that world. Having maroons, some lighter blues, some greens. Those are all great colors to experiment with.
And if you are one of those people that have been stuck in neutrals, I usually find it's for people, first of all, you are struggling to figure out what to spend money on, and so you want to spend money on quote unquote safe pieces. Right. So it's like the black is safe, the gray is safe, the white is safe. So you end up spending money on these safe pieces, but they don't end up matching how you want to look and feel. I want to, and I try sharing this as much as possible, even if you want a capsule wardrobe, which I like to call a foundation wardrobe, but if you want a capsule wardrobe, you still can add color, you still can add fun. I feel like a capsule wardrobe, people think of it too much as like being in a box and certain specific items that you can't expand on, but you can still have fun and mix and match colors with different neutrals. So like Colette said, as you are exploring your style, please add some color. It's going to make a huge difference. And some of our clients, like especially the men, because they do get stuck in that, even not just color-wise, but print-wise, they get stuck in just like plaid, and then they try on a floral shirt, and they're like, oh my gosh, I look hot. And you're like, yeah, you do. And you've been holding back because you've been in just the plaid thing or the flannel thing. You'd be very surprised. It's worth trying on colors. Obviously, not every color is going to work for you, but don't discount that color until you actually have it on you. Another thing about color that is really important is you can create more modern looks with different combinations of colors. Every season, the way that people combine colors makes a huge difference in your wardrobe. So one thing I've really been loving for women is doing like a black top, whether it's like a linen top or a black blazer and some light colored jeans, and then the black flats or black sandals or black heels. It looks really polished and put together and so unexpected. So I'm loving different color combinations that you wouldn't normally do. Working with a stylist is the perfect way of really being intentional with what you're buying, making sure that you feel secure in how you're spending your money, and building a good base to your wardrobe. Because as you start adding new things, you want to make sure that everything will mix and match well, but that they also line up with an overall style that you want to achieve for work. If you are a current client and you have some young adults in your life who recently graduated or have landed their first job, this is a great gift idea. Whether it's for graduation, birthday, holiday, whatever it is, they will get to discover and find new parts of themselves and show up really good at work. Definitely think about getting them a style package where they can work with Chloette or I. I do highly recommend them working with Chloette. I think that she does such a great job to relate with what they're going through right now and knowing the different brands and styles that they can try. And for our current clients, if you have young adults in your life that you want to give this as a gift for graduation, or maybe they landed their first job, or even like a birthday or a holiday, think about it, because this can really change their life. As you know from working together, that when you're going through the process, you learn so much about yourself. And when you're a young adult, you don't really know what direction to take. And having a stylist with you can help you make new decisions, see new parts of yourself come out that you didn't know, and overall just helps them at work. So this is a great gift idea. Chloette works wonderfully with our young adults because she can relate to them, and she knows all the styles and brands out there that she can mix and match and add to their style for work. I remember when I was a young adult, I started my business when I was 22 years old, 21 and a half, 22 years old. And I wanted to be taken seriously. I mean, I was going into people's closets that were twice my age or more. And so I did have to wear clothing that was more conservative. And at the time, that was my style. The first few years of my business, my style was very different than what it is now. It was more conservative. I had my go-to outfits that I created for myself that, and back then also, there wasn't social media. So I had my closet cleanse outfit, my shopping outfit, and making outfits outfit, because back then I didn't have an app. There were no apps to use to create the outfit. So I had to go back to their home in person, take pictures, and I made them this like PowerPoint that was super cute. Luckily, now I don't have to do that, and I could explore my style and have so much more fun. But in the beginning, it did help me feel so much better when I showed up to a client's home and I'm like, I feel put together, I've got my key pieces on, and I look like I know what I'm doing, because I do. And I wanted people to trust me in the process as I was working with them. And when I work with clients now, I remember that little me, and I know how important it is to be able to show up in a way that feels good and looks good, where you're like, you know what, I can be at the same place with you and help you through this. And you can trust me. You can trust me on this journey. And clothing does play a role in that. So that was my own journey when I was going through it. And when I work with young adults, it's so fun just seeing where they're at, hearing their stories, hearing what they've struggled with when it comes to their body or their image, and how they want to step up their game, or the goals that they have in their life for themselves. And just being part of that journey with somebody is so important. And in this episode, I think Chloette and I do a good job about sharing some of those key pieces and how you can wear things and what's important when it comes to personal style as a young adult. Working with the stylist will save you so much time in helping you through this process of discovering who you are. From the inside, it's so easy to go in circles and question yourself on things and not know like what the right answer is for yourself. But having an outside person that can see what you want and where you're trying to go, and having that outside perspective, makes a huge difference. And when you go through the process with Chloette or I, you will see a huge difference in the way that you spend your money, the way that you look, and the way that you ultimately feel as you're going through your day. I highly recommend just scheduling a discovery call. If you go to myclosetedit.com, schedule a discovery call, and we'll talk with you about the process, what your goals are, and how we can help you achieve them. I would love if you could take some time and leave a 5-star review. This podcast means so much to me. It's a way to have conversations with you about important topics surrounding style. Style isn't just about fashion and what you wear. It's about how you feel, what you're going through, how to transition through things, how to question yourself, and just so much more. This podcast is a great resource for so many people. It's completely free for you to listen to and get style tips on. And if you have stayed on this episode, if you're still here, it means that you enjoyed it. You found something helpful. So I would love if you could take some time and review the podcast. Thank you for spending time with me today, and continue building a life and style that truly reflect you. I'll talk to you next time.